this is a spoiler talk for Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to talk about some things that I really liked, and let's get into it. Okay, so starting off with one of the things I really liked from the movie is that intro. Okay, like that's got to be one of the best. No, that's got to be the best intro to any MCU movie I've ever seen. I mean, they put the song "In Sync," "Bye Bye Bye," in that movie, and it had all of us in the theater. We were all bumping to that song, the fight scene and the Deadpool dance scene, and it was just so good. I mean, I personally like that song. I have that song in my workout playlist, so I was bumping to it, and yeah, that's got to be like one of the best intros I've ever seen. Okay, so another thing I really liked about this movie that I really want to talk about is that this Wolverine felt very comic book accurate. I mean, the way this guy was fighting, like, I was like, finally, like, this Wolverine looked like he's got martial arts training. Now, maybe that's just a comic book kid in me that, you know, I saw all this. I mean, maybe not everybody noticed it, but you know, this Wolverine, the way he was fighting, this dude was doing like all these spin moves. He was doing a freaking whirlwind type of trick in the air. I don't know. And I was like, you know, this guy, like, he's fighting like he's actually had a lot of training. And I really did like that he went berserker mode. I like that they did that with him. Also, when he put on his mask at the end of the film, they saved the best for last. I really like that. It worked perfectly. Everybody cheered. I watched this movie 2 times, and I cheered and clapped the first time. I got up out of my seat and I clapped because everybody else got up out of the seat and clapped. The second time I watched it, I did not get up. I kind of, you know, I calmed down a little bit, but we all clapped. It was great to see it. We had a great time. We loved it. We've been waiting like, what, 20 years to see Wolverine put on the freaking mask, and it worked. And hey, Hugh Jackman, awesome physique, man. This dude is like, what, 54, 55, 53, and he still looks freaking jacked for his age. It just makes me want to go to the gym and work out harder. So A+ to that. Another thing I want to talk about is that all the cameos worked. Chris Evans came back as Johnny Storm. Awesome. We had Wesley Snipes as Blade. We had Juggernaut come in here. Who else did we have? We also had Sabretooth. We already knew about Sabretooth. We also had Lara, X-23. We already knew about that. Elektra, Jennifer Gardner as Elektra. It worked. And one of the ones that surprised me the most was Channing Tatum as Gambit. I didn't see that coming, but it worked. It was awesome to see these characters. If there's any other characters I may have missed, because I know that there was like so many, like, there was probably a lot of hidden characters in that movie. If there's any that I missed, any cameos, let me know in the comments, please. But those are the ones that really caught my attention. I really like the involvement of the TVA. Now, when I said in my first review that this movie doesn't require you to do so much homework, like you don't have to watch all these other MCU movies to understand this one, it's because the TVA, it's like you already know what they're about and what they're going to do. When you know, because they explain it in this movie. They kind of already explain who they are and what they do, what they're about. So you don't really have to like do so much homework. I feel like, you know, they had a pretty good role in this film. I really like that girl. I forgot her name. She showed up towards the end of the movie. She was in Loki, I believe. I don't remember. I had to watch Loki season 2 again. But I really liked her. She did pretty good. I like what she said towards the end of the movie where Deadpool wanted Wolverine. Well, Deadpool wanted to ask her. No, Deadpool asked her if she could fix his past and send it back to his world. And she was like, no, because his past is what made him who he is today. So there's nothing to fix. I thought that was a pretty good message. I thought that was really nice. It's basically her saying, you know, like, because of Deadpool, because of Wolverine's past mistakes, he was able to have this redemption. He became like the man who he is today. That was perfect. There was a lot of heart in that. I really liked it. I really digged it. Excellent writing. Now, lastly, I know that Kevin Feige said in an interview that in terms of like rating or something like that, like if Infinity War and Endgame is a 10 on how impactful it will be to the MCU, Deadpool and Wolverine is like an 8. If I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't think they didn't really tease that much in this film. If you're expecting them to tease Secret Wars or Doomsday, they don't really tease all that much. You don't see anything about the Avengers in this one. That, I mean, at least for down the road, you don't see Galactus. You don't see. There's nothing there, in there. I think the impact that this movie has on the MCU is that Deadpool and Wolverine are now a part of the MCU and that they will be back. I mean, the TVA agent said it at the end of the movie. She told Wolverine, and she was probably talking to Deadpool too, but she was like, your work has just begun. That literally just tells us that they're going to be back. So I think that's how it impacts the MCU, is that they are officially a part of this world and that they will be back. All right, guys, that wraps it up for my spoiler talk of Deadpool and Wolverine. If there's anything that I may have missed, any cameos, or if you also have a different opinion on how impactful this movie will be to the MCU, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. And hey, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.